And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Raider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. If you're new on the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a thing. So here's the thing guys, I didn't plan this video honestly. I'm not going to use a script or anything like that. I don't even know how to categorize this video. I really don't know if I should call this a vlog. I don't know if this video is going to be a part of my video game memories series. And probably that makes sense because what I'm about to tell you is related to a very strong video game memory that I have. Now, to put you guys into context, you guys should definitely watch a video that I've put out 1 year ago, a video called How I Became a Gamer. Because today's video is related to that one. It is related to the story that I've told in that video. So please pause this video right now and watch the previous one. I will leave the link of the video in the description box below. Okay, I'm assuming that you guys already watched the video, so let's keep going. So just a quick recap, like I told you in that previous video 1 year ago, that video was about the story of how I became a gamer. I was just 5 years old, I was at a very boring birthday party. I was the only kid at that party, and this girl, it was her birthday. She was a very close friend to my dad. She had a brother, her brother saw me bored to death, and he got me playing his Sega Mega Drive with this multi-cart right here, the iconic Mega Games 2. So yeah, this was my introduction to video games, playing Mega Games 2, playing Revenge of Shinobi, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe. And I've spent that entire afternoon playing this cartridge right here, especially Streets of Rage. And this was my starting point. This was my very first contact with video games. And not only that, but that day, it's probably one of the very first memories that I have, since I was born. And I'm 31 years old now, and still to this day, I look at that moment as one of the most important moments of my life. Because my hobby, gaming, is a very important part of my life. It's my hobby, it's my passion, it's my escape. So I have to say that that guy, the guy that introduced me to gaming, his name is Vito. I have to say that Vito is undeniably one of the most important, or at least one of the most influential people of my life, because he was the guy that introduced me to one of my biggest passions. So this is why I'm making this video. This is the important part, because something very special happened last Saturday, last weekend. So when we start our personal lives, our journey in life, when we get kids, a job, life happens. So my parents kinda lost contact with these guys, with Vito and his sister, Elsa. However, a couple of years ago, my father got in contact with Elsa again. Thanks to social media, Facebook, you guys know the drill. And I've met Elsa again a couple of years ago. She also attends to my father's birthday early on this year. But not Vito, they're brothers, but they have their personal lives. So I really can't remember the last time that I saw this guy. I think that it was more than 25 years ago, honestly. In fact, there's actually a good chance that that birthday, that iconic day, it was the last time that I've seen Vito. So here's what happened last Saturday. The neighbor that I live is also the same neighborhood where I work at. You guys know that I work at a vintage store. So last Saturday there was, a big party here on the street. All the guys here from the neighborhood that have, stores, restaurants, we did a major street party, if you will. And I live in a very typical neighborhood, here in Lisbon. Everybody knows each other, we pretty much function as a community. It's very cool, actually. However, I like to hang out with people. I like to have, nice conversations, but I really don't like parties. Lots of noise, lots of people. Definitely not my type of environment. Unless it is a metal concert. With that, I'm totally fine. Now, aside from that, I also worked the entire day. I had flea market that day, and working at flea markets can be very exhausting. But my parents were at the party, of course, because, it's their store. My girlfriend was also on the party, she was helping them out. And me, well, I was at my couch, pretty much. So my mother called me, and this was around 10 o'clock in the evening, more or less, and she told me, well, get dressed and come to the party because there's a person here that you really want to meet. And I said, Mom, I'm tired, I'm really not in the mood. Then she told me, well, you remember Elsa, right? Well, she's coming, and Vitor is also coming. And I literally freezed for a couple of seconds. I said to my mom, well, give me 5 minutes, I'll be there. I got dressed, I run to the store, and the first person that I met there, right at the entrance of the store, was Vito. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't cry, but it was a very emotional moment for me. Of course that Vitor didn't recognize me. He knew who I was, of course, but last time that the guy saw me, I was a kid. And I'm 31, Vitor is probably at his late 40s. But my first reaction was to hug the guy, look him in the eye and say thank you. And of course that we talked about it. We talked about that day at the birthday party. And then of course we took a photo together, this photo right here. So if you guys follow me on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you guys knew that this was kinda coming. Actually, a couple of you at the time asked me to make a video about it. So this is it. That's the reason of today's video. I was reunited with the guy that introduced me to gaming, to this wonderful multi-cart, wonderful compilation on the Mega Drive. I met him once again 25 years later. And I still think that this is crazy, 25 years it's a long time. And I really don't know Vitor, and he also doesn't know me, I don't know what type of person he is. He looks like a very cool guy, let me tell you, but we never hang out together. However, this is the reason why I love this hobby. This is the reason why I love video games. This is actually the reason why I make YouTube videos. It is not only about playing the actual game, having fun with the game. That is good, that is probably the best part. And it is also not just about collecting. It is also about the moments, the memories, the emotions that we get with these games. And I told that to Vitor. I told that, he was responsible for all of this craziness. I told him about the channel, I told him about the previous video, and we probably hang out for a couple of hours at the party. However, we just talked about games for about 5 or 10 minutes. Because get this, guys, Vitor is no longer a gamer. He told me that at the time, yeah, he got the Mega Drive, but he didn't went much further beyond this. He had a couple of games, but he didn't move forward with the next gen of consoles. As a matter of fact, he told me that he sold his Mega Drive stuff very recently. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it would have been amazing if I could have the chance to see, the actual Mega Drive and the actual cart that I played that day. But it is what it is, life happens. Vitor is not a gamer anymore. He actually has a daughter, a very sweet 13-year-old daughter, but she's not into video games also. So what did we talk about? Well, we talked about life. We talked about our personal lives. He told me a lot of stories from back in the day when he and my father used to hang out all the time. We talked about music. We talked about the 90s, how it was to be a kid and a teenager back in the 90s compared to, to his daughter, for example, It's, we're living very different times. And the coolest thing about that night was the fact that, these were two guys talking to each other, two guys that honestly don't know each other very well, but I think that due to that connection, to that story of the Mega Drive, it almost felt that we knew each other. And we talked about some deep stuff, some deep personal stuff. And yeah, we definitely had a connection there. Now, I'm not going to promise you guys anything because, I have a very busy life, and Vitor also has, a very busy life. He has a job, he has a wife, he has a daughter, but I would definitely love to bring Vitor to the channel, to the Retro Raider show. Like I said, I'm not going to promise you guys anything, but I will do the best as I can to make it happen. And feel free to let me know what you think about that. What do you think about bringing the guy that introduced me to gaming to the Retro Raider show? And yeah, this was the video, guys. It was a very different video from the stuff that I usually do, but I really wanted to share this with you. Because in the end, yeah, this is a gaming channel. This is about, video games. It's about reviewing games, reviewing systems, stuff like that. But most importantly, what I try to bring to the table, what I try to bring into the Retro Raider show, is to share my personal memories related to video games. And this is definitely the most important one. Because I grew up as only child. My parents were not into video games. I don't have any siblings. I didn't grow up with older cousins that had video games. So there's a very good chance that without Vitor, without that day at that party, I wouldn't have become a gamer. Probably I wouldn't ask my parents for a video game console. Probably my parents would never give me a PS1. And I wouldn't have memories with him because I actually grew up playing the PS1 with my parents. I really don't know if I would get into RPGs, which is, my favorite genre of all time when it comes to video games. Probably I wouldn't have become a collector, or at least a collector of video games, because this was not the first collection that I have. And probably the Retro Raider show, this YouTube channel, wouldn't exist. So if we put into perspective, it is thanks to Vito, it is thanks to that day that you guys are watching my videos right now. It is the reason why you guys are watching this. And you might think that this is kind of lame, but to me, it is totally worth it. And yeah, this was the video. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video, and please let me know on the comment section below if you guys have any strong memory attached to video games. Maybe a video game that changed your life, maybe a specific memory of playing a video game with your dad, with your mom, with your brother, with a friend. And it doesn't have to be an old memory. Maybe you just introduced your son to video games. So please let me know about a strong attachment that you guys have related to a video game or a video game console. So let me know on the comment section below. If you guys want to support the show, feel free to check out the Retro Raiders Patreon page. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.